Hello students and welcome to one more session of International Finance Management classes. So we are in our last few classes we have studied about the different types of exposures that an MNC has to face while doing international business. So we have discussed about economic, translation and transaction exposure. So today we'll move on to a fresh topic, that is how to finance international trade. Okay, so when you're doing trade, what is trade? Trade means merchandise trade, that is you're selling goods, that is you're exporting or importing goods. And this is the most that is the most primitive way of doing international business. So when you're doing export or import, there is a concern that the exporter has a risk of non-payment from the importer. Maybe like he's sending the goods and the importer may not send the money back in time. Also, the importer is at a risk that if I pay in advance and the goods may not be shipped to him. So there are many concerns about even not only this, even the time of delivery and the receipt of payment may take some time, and which is risky for the exporter as well as importer. So we have different payment methods and also different financing methods used so that they are beneficial to both the exporter and importer. So when you're talking about international trade, we have many things into concern. Say we have different parties who act. So there is a supplier who we call it in general term as an exporter, a buyer whom we call the importer, some bank or financial institution, or a combination of all these three together. Okay. So there is some amount of trade cycle or credit to be given from right from the order to delivery and last to payment. So that time span is called as the trade cycle, and there is some amount of credit. Now what is credit? Credit means giving delayed payment. So this involves, and so we have to make different types of payment. So very basic way of doing the payment, maybe you give the money in advance, so you are doing prepayment, and once you make the payment the ships will be delivered. So this is the opposite of cash on delivery. So you are making a prepayment, goods are afterwards delivered. So this is the most risk free for the exporter because he is receiving in advance. So the time of payment is before the shipment is done. Goods are available to the buyer after the payment is done. For exporter there is zero risk, and for the importer the risk lies upon how the exporter will ship the goods. He ships in time or he doesn't in time. So the importer's risk is totally dependent on the exporter, but exporter is having no risk at all. So this is the very basic way of making payment. Then the second method is letter of credit. Now letter of credit, it is a letter issued by a bank on behalf of the payment. So it is promising the exporter on behalf of the importer that after the delivery of goods and the proper presentation of shipping documents, he in the sense exporter will receive the payment. So it is a third party bank, or third party means the bank is taking a guarantee that importer will pay the exporter when he will present the shipping documents to the bank. So the time of payment here is when shipment is made, means when you have sent the goods and you have the transportation documents, that is the shipping documents. Then goods are available to the buyer after the payment, because once you send the shipment you are receiving the payment and then only you will get the goods. Then exporter's risk is little or zero, and importer's risk relies on the shipping goods as described in the document. So if he is sending fake documents, then he will be at a loss, he will be at risk. If the exporter is giving the right documents, then he has no risk. Then the next method of payment of doing international trade is bills of exchange, or we also call it in the normal sense a draft. Okay, so this is a unconditional promise to pay which is drawn by the exporter, and it is like a say normal bills of exchange in trade, where you are selling something and the buyer is buying something, and you as the seller, means the exporter, are telling the buyer to pay a specified amount for the goods you have been delivered, and you're not putting any condition. There is no ifs and buts. It is just an unconditional order to pay the delayed amount. So it is made by the exporter and sent to the importer. Here on both the ends, banks act as intermediaries. Okay, so they act as intermediaries in processing the shipping documents and collecting the payment. So your exporter's bank will process the shipping document and the importer's bank will make the payment. So here in the transactions are of documentary collection. So you are sending a bill to them, he is accepting the bill, the importer is accepting, then with the needed shipping documents, the payment will be done. The documents may also be presented when the shipment has been made, as such, say what you call the letter of credit. Okay, so the time of payment is on. So when you present the document, so we have one more bill of exchange, we call it as a side draft. So you show the documents, the payment will be made. After the payment, the buyer will get the products. Risk to the exporter if the products are unpaid, and for the importer it relies on the exporters whether he has sent the documents properly. Then the next method of payment is by consignment. So here consignment means the exporter retains the title of goods. Means the exporter is the owner of the goods sent and he is only shipping it to the importer. So here at the time of sale by the buyer to the third party, the payment is made. Means the importer is just like a dealer. He is not taking the ownership of the goods sent. Once he sells it there wherever he is to the third party, when he receives the payment after selling, then only payment is done. So we call it as an consignment. We don't show it as say in other types of exports, here there in say prepayment, bill of exchange, letter of credit. Once you send the goods are and become the property of the importer. But here in consignment, the exporter is the owner of the goods and he will receive, and the importer is only the dealer. He will receive the payment only when the importer sells it to the third party there. Goods are available to the importer before the payment. There is no title of the goods, and the risk to the exporter is it allows the importer to sell inventory before paying the proper exporter. So as it is consignment, it is not his property. He can sell before making the payment, and so the importer doesn't have any risk. Say, but here this in the consignment accounts, totally the risk is on the exporter itself, because he's having the title of goods and the payment is received only when the importer sells. So total risk he has to bear. Then the next method of payment is open accounts. Now open accounts, here the exporter sends the goods to the importer, and here based on the agreement the buyer will make the payment. Say if he is saying as soon as I received I will say send the money, then that will be done. So as per the agreed upon, before, after, or in between, before say after shipment but before delivery. So it is all about how you both the importer and exporter decide. So we call it an open account. So there is no strict hard and fast rule. It is between the agreement of exporter and importer. So goods are available before payment. Risk for exporter is based on the so risk decides upon what are the agreed terms of the contract, and for importer there is no risk at all. So this all prepayment, letter of credit, site drafts, time drafts, all you can have a comparison. So here we can see that in prepayment, the time of payment is before shipment and goods are available to the buyer after payment. Risk to the exporter 0. Importer risk lies on the exporter's behavior. Letter of credit, the payment is made when the shipment is made. Goods are available after payment. No risk to the exporter, and risk of importer depends on the exporter's behavior. Site draft, payment is made on presentation of documents. Goods available after payment. Risk to the exporter is if the draft is not paid. Then time draft, after the maturity of the draft. Goods are available to the buyer before payment, relies on buyer, and so on. Consignment, time of payment is sale by the buyer. Goods are received before payment. Total risk is for the exporter, 0 risk for the importer. Open account, the payment is as agreed upon. Goods available is before payment. Risk to the exporter is depending upon the terms of the contract, and there is no risk to the importer. Then how can you finance international trade? Now we have talked about how to pay, different methods of paying. So say for this payment also, if you don't have funds, how can I do that? So we have different modes of financing international trade. So first one is accounts receivable method. Okay, so here an exporter who needs funds immediately, say for example the exporter has sent the goods and he has made a draft, that is a bills of exchange, to pay him after certain date, and for emergency he needs money immediately. What he can do that same bill of exchange he can give it to the bank, sell it to the bank, and the bank will give him the amount, and the bank will deduct some commission, because instead of the exporter waiting for the payment, now bank is going to wait for the payment and make immediate payment to the exporter. So this is called as account receivable financing, where you are giving a loan, taking a loan from a bank by keeping security as the bills receivable. Then factoring is where you are selling. Now in account receivable financing, you are keeping that receivable to the bank, and you are keeping it as a mortgage, as a say guarantee, and taking a loan. But factoring, you are only selling it to the bank. Now bank is going to wait on behalf of you, and for that he will deduct some commission from the total amount of the accounts receivable. So this method of selling a bills receivable to the bank by giving some commission to the bank is called as factoring. In account receivable factoring, the same bills receivable is kept as a security and you are taking a loan. Then letter of credit. So I told you what is a letter of credit. It is a promissory note issued by the importer's bank that he is going to pay after the shipping documents are presented. So on this letter of credit, the exporter can take a loan. So that if you show the shipping documents, typically include a draft, commercial invoice, and a bill of lading, that is a shipping thing. So on that you can take a loan from the bank. So instead of you paying, the bank is going to pay, and this can be a very good source of financing to the importer. So this is a format of a letter of credit. So there is the name of the issuing bank, name, address, name of the exporter, address of the exporter, then the details of the payment, the importer's name, the amount, type of goods, and so on, and signed by the authorized signatory. Then the next method of financing international trade is bankers' acceptance. So bankers' acceptance is similar to bills of exchange, but here you are taking a time draft that is drawn and accepted by the bank, and that is the importer's bank. The bank is obliged to pay the holder of the draft. So time draft is issued by a bank in favor as a guarantee of importer to the exporter, and whoever is having that time draft, he is going to make the payment for that. So the exporter does not want to wait for payment. He can just request that the banker's expression is sold in the money market and he'll get the money. So he don't have to wait with the time draft. So the time draft issued, he can sell it in the money market and take his money. So this is the format of a banker's acceptance. So you see there is an amount, date, whom to pay, then what is the date, who has issued it, address, and so on. Even you can finance international trade by taking small hand loans from the bank so that you can make the necessary export order in time. Also, you can use forfeiting. Forfeiting is, a loan where, or a promissory note where, in other types of loans or drafts or bankers acceptance, you are paying within say 1 year, in a few months of time. But forfeiting is that type of a loan or an issue promissory note where the exporter, you are paying to the bank will pay to the exporter, but the importer is paying to the to the bank in few years of time, say within 3 to 7 years. If it is for huge orders, say for example the importer has imported a huge machinery which is really very costly, a capital expenditure, so he can get issued a promissory note from the bank and he can send it to the exporter. So the banker will send the payment to the exporter, and in installments for 3 to 7 years he will pay the bank. So this is a medium term capital good financing and it is called as forfeiting. Then we can use counter trade. Now counter trade nothing but where you are sending goods for goods. Say for example barter system. Say you buy say for example the Middle East countries buy wheat from India, or sugar, wheat and other food grains in exchange of say oil. So this is a barter system. Or you can use compensation. Compensation means you are first selling the product, making them use it for some time, then after some time you are buying back that same product. So this is compensation. And counter purchase. Counter purchase means say for example we purchase something from one particular country, and that country is paying partly in money and partly in some other form of goods. So these are the different types of financing instruments used, long term, short term, and payment methods in international trade. So that's all for today. Any queries, please raise in comments. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you.